Hey everybody, welcome back to the best U.S. Mint news channel on YouTube. I'm Son of a Silver Stacker. Today's date is the 18th of June, 2025, and in this video we're going to be talking about the 2025 American Silver Eagles with privy marks. That's right, the Army, the Navy, the Marine, and that Soaring Eagle privy mark. Well, I have to tell you, I was looking through the population report for the Army privy mark and didn't really see one except for on NGC, and that was kind of weird. And then I looked on PCGS and came across the Soaring Eagle, and you won't believe what I found. And I have to share with you. And next, let's talk about the silver price. I mean, heck, if the United States Mint sells silver at 3x spot for the American Silver Eagles, what's to happen when silver hits $40 an ounce? Does that mean we're going to have $120, $125 American Silver Eagles in proof version? Could be, right? Now, before any of that, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to reach a bazillion subs. It's a really big number. Not sure exactly how big it is, but I'm pretty sure it's ginormous. Also, we're always live, never edited, and always unscripted. I never know what I'm going to say or do. Now, over here to moneymetals.com, looks like gold is down 8.10 to 33.93.25. Silver up 12 cents to 37.44. Platinum up 15.70 to 12.92.45. Palladium up 3.30 to 10.77.80. And good old Dr. Copper's up 6 cents to 4.85 per pound. You know, my question is, what's the threshold? What's the trigger for the United States Mint to, well, change the product prices on their silver, right? So if we hit $39, $40, does that trigger the price increase? Because I remember, you got to be careful what you wish for, right? So if we see $40 silver, we see $120 American Silver Eagles, and that's not cool. Now here, you're looking at an in-stock American Silver Eagle, whose premium is $6.69 for the quantity 1 through 39. They got you paying $44.13. Remember, it was $39 forever and a day, it seems like? Man, times change pretty quickly. Sell to us price is $38.46. $38.46 is definitely $1, 2 pennies above the silver spot price. There it is. Now, next stop, the United States Mint webpage. And yeah, I'm looking through the cumulative sales figures. It's under About Production Sales Figures. And look at this. We got no new information. So I'm going to scroll here. Look at this. It comes up with the 8th. And if I just try to find any data for 2025, look at this: January, February, March, April, May, June. It's finally in the correct order. They were all over the map before. So we have the 1st and the 8th. And let's see, 25 Army privy mark. Okay, there we go. That's the product I was trying to look up. And we still have the same data as we did on drop day, which was 5 days ago on Friday the 13th, right? 10,170 of those bad boys have been purchased, okay, by the advanced bulk purchase folks, and imagine the numismatic bulk purchase folks. And remember, this eagle with the privy mark of the United States Army was not available for subscription. You actually had to buy it that drop day, and it was gonzo by 3:48 in the afternoon Eastern time. So less than 4 hours after the drop at noon, isn't it? Well, wait, is it less than 5 hours, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 hours ish. Now, what I'm trying to do next is I go to eBay, and I'm looking at the sold, and I'm looking at the availability of these American Silver Eagles, and I can't even figure it out. I'm like, this isn't scientific. I have to wait until the population report comes out from PCGS and NGC. And I got to tell you, folks, well, I'll just have to show you. It's rough. Now, here we have the sold right here, confirmed, and this is a pre-order, and it's odd that it's a pre-order, right? So 224 in raw. So we were seeing these for 210, 205, 199. It looks like the price has gone up for the raw. But check this out, pre-sale right here. That's amazing with the West Point Cadet on there. Yes, please. That one's awesome. Saw another one that was awesome too. Look at the silhouette with the chopper in the background. Yes, please. And that's a 69. So I've got 69 and 70 in here. And if I try and separate the two, there's a good bit of 69 on this particular on these sales right now. It's quite incredible. So the most we're seeing is 425, but I'll tell you what, I saw one of them that was just really expensive. Let's see if we can find that. Go highest first. Yeah, 475 is the highest we're looking at, and that was just yesterday, June 6th, or 2 days ago, June 16th, and that is a first day of issue. 450 there, just sold. Now, my question is, if these are on pre-sale, well, do you remember seeing this video, folks, from the USA Military Channel, Inside the U.S. Mint, how the Army 250th silver proof coin is made? Yeah, what? Why am I looking at them and it's on back order? Yeah, mine's on back order. Is yours on back order? Yeah. What is going on there? Not sure what's up with that. Now, let's look at the population report. Here we have PCG. Oops, that's not the right one. Here we we're going to shift gears here. Okay. We're going to shift gears and we're going to look at this particular coin. That's the silver eagle with the eagle privy struck in Philadelphia. And you won't even believe what I came across. I know that was like a non sequitur segue, but that's all right. This is incredible what I found. You're going to be like, what? Yeah, I know, me too. So this is a mint state grade, all right, for this silver eagle with the eagle privy. You won't even believe this. This is absolute garbage, right? It is incredible. So here we have 1,400 submissions. Half of those are a mint state 69. The other half is a mint state 70. But the wait, it gets even wilder. And now this is one of the first 50,000 issued. And remember, the 50,000 number is just what, a tenth of what they really produced at 500,000. And yeah, 500,000 American silver eagles with the soaring eagle. However, 50,000 of those bad boys were produced as a batch of the first, right? Look at this. 4,167 submissions, only 1,100 were in a mint state 70, 3,016 were in a proof or in a mint state 69. That's bad. That is not healthy. And it makes you wonder what's going on with that. So look at this, under 8,440 submissions, half of those were a mint state 70 and the other half were a mint state 69, folks. So what I'm thinking is that whatever we see on eBay for these soaring eagles of the first 50,000, not the ones that are the 450, the remainder, but these first 50,000, I would imagine if you've already picked these up, for a decent price, they're probably going to skyrocket sooner than later when this information gets out. I mean, this is really bad, folks. I mean, this is worse than the Denver Morgan from 2021. Look at that, half. Here, and look at that's just 25% here, 75% here. What? Yeah, that's incredible. Look at this poor, wait a minute, that's 100 of the total submitted, and all 100 were 69. What is this? That's the 2025 silver eagle with the eagle privy struck at Philadelphia. That's the Ventress Gibson signature coin. That can't be right. That's got to be in a 70. That's just insulting. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Yeah, that's it for the grades in a mint state 70 and a 69, folks. So we're getting a really clear picture of what's going on with that eagle privy, and it is not pretty. It is not pretty, folks. Yowza. I mean, look at that. Okay, I'm going to stop. Now, did you see the grades over at NGC? Yeah, here we go. 2025 Eagle United States Army. Oh, they've graded some Army ones, and this is the population report. It says there's 20 in a Proof Ultra Cameo, and yet they have them at an AG Details grade, and let's go ahead and find any of them in a 70 or 69, and we got Bubkiss. So yeah, I don't know what's going on here, folks. It's really a head scratcher. Let me get a little sippy sip of water. So like I said, I believe that Army, that Eagle Privy Mark coin is probably well under the true price of what it should be selling for. Here we go. So this is the 2025 American Silver Eagle with the Privy Mint State 70. Remember, these are obviously condition rarity at this point. I don't know how many are on NGC, right? NGC, Eagle Privy Mark, Eagle 2025. Where is it? In Mint State. Let's go ahead and see if we can find. Here we go. Bingo. Just real quick here. Let's find out. Pop data is loading. Probably should have had this loaded before, but let's go ahead and go to the bottom. We have to go to the next page or two. Thanks for your patience. 2021, 2024. And this is the Eagle Privy. They've graded 76,000 of those bad boys. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and see if we can find the population report. Yeah, what is that grade? Is that the 69? I'm telling you, I'm not, there it is. What? A 65? I'm sorry. That's not great, folks. That is not great. Okay. Eagle Privy, and the remainder of them are 69 here and 51,000 right there. So yeah, 65? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. And it's hard to read too. Now, check this out. This is the Morgan silver dollar. It sells for $2,200 in a mint state 70. They made 175,000 of these bad boys. And let's go back over to PCGS. I've got the base here for Morgan dollar 100 anniversary coin. Submitted 4,755 and 1,739 were mint state 70. That's a tough grade to get, folks, right? And this is just the regular submissions, okay? And then 2,592 were in a 69, 368, 63 and a 67, 25 and a 66, 17 and a 65, and so on and so forth, with a 2 and a 64. Brutal. And remember, there was a video done by a coin guy who said he had a listener submit a Morgan dollar to the grading companies in the OGP, and it came back like details or something like that. I was like, what in the wide world of sports is going on there? So here it is. This is the big numbers. 17,000 submitted. 10,000 of those are in a 70. 7,000 are in a 69. Well, clearly they have a whole lot more of these. So you could add these numbers here. That's 500, 550, 575. Okay, so almost 600 you could add to this, 7,600 to the 69, and you'd still get the majority of those in a 70. But I'm telling you, folks, that is not the case with this particular coin, and is bad. And look at this. The reason why this one's so high is you get like 2,000 of these, 3,000 of those. But is that a real actual gauge as to the population report? Because I would imagine all of these are in a 70 because they didn't want anything in a 69. And that's why we see numbers like we're seeing here. I don't know what's going to happen to the Soaring Eagle Privy Mark, but I would imagine, seeing how it's more condition rarity than this Morgan dollar. And look at the Morgan dollar in the 70. Yeah. And remember, they had 175,000 at $1,900. And what's interesting is if you go here to the 2025 American Silver Eagle with the Eagle Privy, yeah, look at that. A mid-state 70 is $800 there, $679 there. And are these too expensive? I don't know. Considering the fact that what we're seeing on these particular coins quality, well, I would rethink the prices that people are getting offered here. Look at lot of 3 with the Silver Eagle 8th era. Man, are those all mid-state 70s for? Oh boy, I think that coin's at least worth $750. I would think. So there it is, folks. Mid-state 75.9. Wow, some people are really paying big money for those. That was back in April. Now let's talk about the silver price. This is going to be really interesting if silver keeps going up, and I think it will, considering the geopolitical situations going on in the world right now. Here, this is the American Eagle with the Army Privy Mark, sold for $105. We don't know exactly how many they struck, but we know that the household order limit is still 1, and we know that the shipping is expected to begin July 29th, although it's on back order, but there's also coins being struck. I don't know what's going on, dogs and cats living together and so on and so forth. But back to this particular coin. Now, that begs the question, what happens when silver goes to $40 per ounce? Okay, well, let's go to the next step here. This is the United States Mint's product schedule. So July 10th, that's in less than a month now, about 3 weeks away. We have the Peace and Morgan dollar, and they are now at 150,000, which is actually 25,000 less than the original Morgan and Peace dollars came out in 2021, right? Look at that, 150,000. And I think that household order limit of 10 is kind of a bummer in the summer. And that's actually what it was when this Carson City dropped. And some folks were actually able to get 10 Carson City Morgan dollars. And that's a pretty good score. But now these are $91. Not sure that the price is going to go up any further because silver's already been paid for. But also going forward, we have 91 there. But we don't have prices, right? I don't know why that's twice. We don't have prices for the Superman coin, which releases July 24th, which is just a month and a week away or so. Don't have that one. We also, which is really interesting, now see how we have the price for the Army Privy Mark? Well, we don't have a price for the United States Marine Corps, nor do we have it for the Navy, right? I mean, how is it that they don't know the price of that bad boy yet? Well, it's coming out in the fall, right, for the Navy, and then the fall for the Marine Corps. Well, what's up with that is probably the United States Mint would expect prices to be going gonzo come fall 2025. And I'm not sure if it actually will, if it will come to fruition, but at the trajectory we're at now and the geopolitical tensions that we're seeing now, this could easily be $125 per coin. And look, if silver goes to $50, I'm out. I'm not even going to be collecting anymore because that would be outrageous. Could you imagine? And that begs the question, what is that 2.5 ounce Superman metal going to be priced at, right? This one here, what, $300, $400, $500 for 2.5 ounces of metal? Yowza, right? And remember, 3 times spot is what we typically pay at the United States Mint. That's right. So If silver's at $50 an ounce, well, 3 times spot 150, you got 2 ounces, that's 300 plus the half ounce. You're probably, and then you got to consider the trademark, what the United States Mint's paying for the licensing of this product. It could get out of hand pretty quickly. And so we are on the precipice, folks, of a really interesting time at the United States Mint. And what's going to happen, right? So think about this. If everybody's out like myself, I'm not buying that. It's too expensive. Well, they're not going to sell a whole lot, right? And then they're going to become, well, they won't proliferate eBay, right? People won't be flipping them because there'll be no buyers. And it'll only be the hardcore collectors that I would imagine be purchasing these items. And they will be probably limited release because the United States Mint doesn't want products sitting on their shelf collecting dust forever and a day. That's amazing, folks. So we are in really new territory as numismatists, collectors, flippers, investors, all of the above, as we are seeing, I believe, a price increase before fall hits, and that's after summer. That's going to be incredible. Now let's go to the plus ones. I've yammered for way too long. All right, here we go. This is Proverb 28, number 4, and this is really important, folks. So I'm going to grab a little sip of water before I even get to this one, because, yeah, that's how important this is. All right, so this Proverb 28:4 says, "Those who forsake the word praise the wicked, but the keepers of the word contend with them." What does that even mean? Wrap your head around that one if you dare. Well, I think what it means, a person who once learned, right? Once learned what? The word, right? Once learned the word of you know what? The Lord above. Yeah, but has abandoned their learning is the worst of all. Yeah, you don't want anything to do with them. Just wave goodbye. See you next life. You know what I mean? Like later. Can't do with you. Yeah, because they're going to be contentious the whole time, right? Contend. Who wants to hang out with a contentious person? Always fighting, arguing, bickering, and quarreling. It's not the way to live your life, folks. Especially if, think about it, if they know the word so well, they could maybe make you come to their side of the story and be like, hey, maybe you're right. I didn't consider that. Yeah, see, that's why they're the worst of all, because you can, well, abandon the Lord and maybe supplant with another one, and that's like adultery in my mind, but whatever. Let's go to the 99.9 KOI and Coin News Radio. This is it. Oh, maybe not. There we go. This is Bob O'Reilly for the, I don't know why it's, there we go. This is the Who, and they're wicked awesome under Who's Next, and I don't know what they just did to the obelisk right there, but whatever. Now, with that said, I want to thank you all for coming. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you like what you hear and see, please sub the channel. It's absolutely free. Now, what's not free is membership. It's like 6.6 cents per day. That's like 6 cents a video. 6 cents? I love that movie. No, wait, that was the 6 cents. Either way, that's how much it costs per day. And it's almost per video, right? So if you like what you hear, you like what you see, please consider becoming a member. You don't have to, but these fine folks have, and I'm sure they're pretty stoked that they have, because you get all this awesome member content, right? Bam. It's pretty sweet. Stacker out.